How much is that doggy in the window? Meow. The one with the bushy tail. Meow. How much is that doggy in the window? I don't know the rest of the song. I do wish that doggy was for sale. How much is that sheep in the window? The one with the sheepy face. Meow. How much is that doggy in the window? The one that ignores me both night and day. Welcome to the tree. I am the tree. The tree is me and I am the tree. I am one with the tree and the tree is one with me. We are tree. I am tree. I'm going to branch off in a few days. Join the police force. Special branch. These are all old jokes, but they're all rooted in non-fun. There's no humour in them at all. That makes one feel like they want to be sycamore all over the floor when they listen to this kind of joke. Just leave it alone. Seriously. Oh, sorry, Lily. Good afternoon, beautiful souls, and welcome. What a day and yesterday has been for me. You want to know what happened? Two road ragers. One got out of the car and I thought, covered in tattoos and maxed up to the mountain, probably just left for it. He just probably walked out having his fifth shot. And yeah, I've never seen anything quite like evil in my life. And it was on a roundabout. I still don't understand roundabouts here. I learned how to navigate on a roundabout in the UK, but in Spain it's kind of like I don't actually know what the law of the roundabout is. It's that bizarre. And the thing is, most people in Spain, oh, dare I say Spanish? Oh no, don't. You're racist. Oh, I mean, let's face it, a few years ago there weren't any roundabouts here. There was hardly any roundabouts. 20 years ago, all of a sudden they started springing up roundabouts. So of course, when you're in Spain and you're doing your driving test, if there's hardly any roundabouts, then you're not going to be taught how to use a roundabout. So the last thing I did is about 5 years ago, is I started looking at the law in Spain about how to use a roundabout. I was so confused and so bemused and so bewildered that I had to switch it off because I couldn't get it in my head how they use a roundabout. So it's kind of free for all. So this guy was trying to tell me that I was in the wrong, I was doing the wrong thing. And I spent most of my time telling him to calm down. The more I told him to cálmate hombre, no pasa nada, the more angry he was, aggressive he was getting. And he was filled with tattoos. And he just looked like he was getting more angrier. That was yesterday. Anyway, he didn't punch me. I didn't have to defend myself. He just screamed and shouted, then got back in his car, slammed his car and drove off. Fair enough, no problem. It's the first time I've ever encountered that. On a roundabout. And then the strangest of things this morning, the same thing happened again. But it wasn't on a roundabout. It was on a road where I didn't let this guy past because it wasn't his right of way, plus he was breaking the law. He was crossing two double yellows, two white lines, and he just got aggressive. And when I pulled in, he just came up to me and got out of the car and started shouting, basically telling me what was wrong with me. And it was like, I haven't done anything wrong, mate. I just drove down and it's like, hang on a minute. You can't even pass on there. You're not even meant to go on them lines to cross the road. Anyway, so it was like people were just attacking me for no reason. Like, what's going on? Fair enough, if I'm an idiot driver, no problem, I deserve it. But it's like, what's going on here? This is kind of mental. So I sat down and started meditating on it, and what I could hear was, just look for the answers, look for the signs. So I went, oh, okay, look for the signs. Oh, what signs? Like, you know, just give me snippets of, just tell me what's going on. So this is how we want to know everything right now. We don't want to sit and work it out for ourselves. We just tell me, Spirit. So I thought, oh, just forget it, make a video. As soon as I made the video, there was nobody sat anywhere near. As soon as I switched the video on, this woman came over and stood, I swear to God, right next to me, and she's looking at me. I've just switched the video on. I'm like, just ignore it, Mark. This is unreal. Then she then moved off when I went quiet, because I knew she was like stood next to me. Then a guy from nowhere came and sat 2 seats away and sat down. No problem, I can cope with 2 seats away because I can still talk and I'm not interfering with their conversation. This is part of where I get upset. I don't want other people to hear my conversation. There's no ego in me, so I'd rather people don't listen and hear, and plus the fact that they shouldn't have to listen to me. So then this guy gets up and sits right next to me. There is 100 seats available in that place, and he sits right next to me. I just can't carry on. This is just all too much. I switched off. I went and sat down and meditated. And it's true, guys. What I got then was the message. And the message is, we are going to be infiltrated by darkness. And darkness will weave its ugly head in everything and everybody it can to try and stop us from shining our light. And I thought, okay, so how do you counteract that? I'm not interested in that. Don't tell me it's something without telling me the counteracting. Because this is what I say, this is how I speak to Spirit. I don't speak to him lovingly and kind. I speak to him like I would to you. Well, what do you mean by that? Explain, what do I need to do to stop? How could I have stopped this happening yesterday? How could I have stopped this happening today when it was totally out of my... should I have stopped on a no stopping road to let somebody turn in past where he shouldn't have even been turning? Okay, do you get it? You can't stop. This is a road which is a dual carriageway. You can't stop. The guy's turning in somewhere where it's 2 white lines and he shouldn't be turning, and he shouldn't stop. So I'm talking to Spirit like this, saying, there is a law of the land, there is a law of spirit, and there's a law of nature, there's a law of everything that you feel is right and wrong. Those 2 things that happened to me was just the law of land, the law of the law. You just do what you do. You all, okay, you drive on your side of the road, I drive on my side of the road. Okay, now everything's okay, or else it'll be chaos. So we need that energy in this, and we need to be always thinking, right? But why the attack? Well, I didn't get beat up, I didn't get smacked in the face, it was just abuse. Could it be that darkness is doing everything to stop us? Is it now to the point where it's become so easy for darkness to weave itself into people who are being jabbed? And I think it has. I think this is the perfect opportunity to switch whatever it is they've done. This is the law of let's say, non-science, which they claim to be science. They put into our system a kind of new metal that works on a system, a grid, that all they need to do is fine-tune it to whatever they want to then cause reaction. What is the reaction when this is inside our body and it makes us get angry? Well, we want to attack, we want to hurt, we want to do something. Well, how do you do it if nobody's doing anything wrong? Well, if they look for something, they'll find it, or they'll create it. So what's happened, what I've realised what's happening, is that even if you're getting on with your daily life and you're just being loving and kind, they're going to find a way to try and attack us. So I ask the question again, what do we do to stop this from happening, and I didn't get a bloody answer. So I'm still in the same energy as I was this morning and yesterday. Quite frankly, I feel lost in the sense of, is this what we're going to have to put up with? Is this what it's like? Is this what it's going to be? Is our family, our friends, our complete strangers, are they all going to turn into zombies and start to attack human beings who are cleansed and cleared and are pure temples? Is this going to be the divide where they feel that they're attacking the unzombies? So is this a way that the zombie films have been created, in the sense that they're not eating our flesh, but they're attacking our spiritual? So now there's a spiritual battle between these people who are absolutely non-existent connection between their spirit. It's gone. All it is anger and rage. Right? Anger and rage, that's what I've seen. And those who are manipulated to be able to stop people from doing good in the world, to stop and silence them. Is it that now so many people are just attacking on so many levels? I mean, look what's happened in the past few weeks. Everything that I've put out on mainstream media, I've had to block about 50 people, and I haven't done that for ages. Why? Because they're attacking me because of what I'm saying. Not about the jib-jab, just about general nothingness. Nothing that should even be attacked, but they're attacking. Why are you talking about coffee? The coffee's bad for you. It's like, are you serious? Why are you talking about this? You shouldn't be saying that. Why are you a racist? Why are you? It's like, what's going on with these people? It's full attack. So I ask the question again, spirit world, help me. Why are these people always on the negative? Why are they always attacking? Why are they always trying to suppress? Why are they always trying to stop everybody? Why is that? It's the separation. Of course it is. They need to divide us. They need to silence us. They need to shut us up in any way they can. It's not about making them feel comfortable. It's about attack. Why isn't it that these people are saying beautiful things and sharing their light and saying wonderful things and making videos themselves? Why are they constantly picking at everybody every day, looking for something to nitpick? Because they're in the dark, because they're in the negative, because all they know and all they're comfortable is in this dirty grey matter of energy, of attack, of abuse, of nitpicking, of judging. Right? So you ask yourself this question: why do you think so many of us want to be on our own? Why do you think so many of us say, you know what, you can keep your groups, you can keep your flocks, I'd rather be on my own, thank you very much? And I understand that, guys, and you've got my sympathy. I spend as much time on my own now as I can, because I cannot cope with the absolute zombie brain program that is now becoming so monumentally brutal in humanity that it's a struggle to even wake up in the morning and want to connect to your brothers and sisters, because there is no connection. If they are not connected inside their spirit and their human body, then I cannot feel and want to be in that connection. I have sat with people, I feel this is a loving person, this is a kind person, this is a good person. I am seeing less and less of those people because of the cut between the spirit and the physical body because of these jabs. I am getting more messages on a daily basis. After I made that video with Sheep Farm, I had nearly 50 messages come in saying, Mark, I heard you on Sheep Farm. I'm interested in what you were talking about the constant headaches. Yeah, absolutely. If you've been jib-jabbed, there's a chance that you're going to get constant headaches which don't go away. Do I have clients who had the constant headache and it's gone away? Not one. What are they doing? It's like tinnitus. It stays, it doesn't go, it's constant. But what bothers me, and what I said on that show, is why aren't you guys getting up shouting from the rooftops, why are you making videos? Why are you going to the doctors? Why are you going to the nurse who injected you? Why aren't you going to the pharmaceutical companies and saying, look what you've done to me, look what, fix me now, fix me? No, silence. Why is that? Why have they all become silent? Why isn't anybody saying about the issues that they're getting? So it's becoming a world that is absolutely going insane. Nobody is discerning anything. Who have been jabbed hardly any of them. They're just doing things that are just beyond my understanding. So yeah, it's been a difficult 2 days and a challenge to understand it, and more so why Spirit isn't giving me the answers that they should be giving me. I find it really bizarre that these 2 days that I've tried to meditate on it, that they're not giving me the answers. Why is that? Could it be that the spirit world might not have the answer to this? Could it be that the spirit world don't know how to handle the fact that people have been injected with so much poison that what do you do? It might be that people might just have to fall down and might have to go back into the spirit world, hopefully. It's just beyond me what's happening at the moment. I mean, the amount of phone calls that I'm getting with people with damage, serious damage, asking for help. It's like, I can't help. Go on to Mark Bajerski, go on to the Pure Energy Healing Academy and ask the practitioners who are working full time, are you honestly 100% getting any positive results from a healing session? I worked on over 100 people by absent healing, and that was a hard 3 months, right? And I wanted to be sure, so let me try. After every session I did, I wanted feedback, and the best I got was 15 minutes, and then they were back to tinnitus, they were back to headaches, they were back to all sorts of issues inside their body, and like things that were happening to them which they were uncontrollable. They couldn't stop. Horrible things, face movement or the face not moving. Oh my God, the eyes going weird, the eyes not being able to see properly. All of these things that were happening to people right at the beginning when I started work. I then put a message out and said, look guys, I started on 13 people, I started on 3, then it went to 13, then it went to over 100. So I worked on all these people, and then at the end of it, I came up with my experience. Not one of them, not one was fixed or healed to this moment. Not one of them are fixed and healed. And imagine telling people, I'm a healer and I can't heal people who have been injected. It hasn't worked. And then people attack me for saying it. Are you kidding me? You're attacking me for speaking experience of working with people. And by the way, when you work on an energetic level of through the screen, it's equally as powerful. So yeah, it's an interesting day, but I'm telling you guys, it's something that we need to be aware of now. And don't, for God's sake, enter into conflict. Just run away, get away from it, because you are not in the same energy frequency as that, and they'll try and pull you into that frequency. Don't be pulled into it. Drive away, walk away. Don't get into arguments. What I am looking at now with these jib-jab young lads, and they're all jib-jabbed, all of them, they look like they're possessed. It's almost like they've had an alcoholic drink and now they're possessed by a spirit or an entity. It's like, I've never seen anything so scary. It's like, whoa, this is bad. This is really bad. So yeah, and I all you need to do is look at statistics in the past 2 years on accidents. Have they gone up with insurance companies? Just check them out. I looked at them about 4 months ago. They've gone up 35%. 35%. That means 35% more accidents on the road. Why is that? That's never happened before. Look at the scale. Look at the scale. The scale for the past 10 or 20 years. It goes up maybe 3%. Why? Because there's more cars on the road. It makes sense. Use your common sense. 35% it's gone up by in these past 2 years. Why? How could that be? Well, what's everybody done? What is everybody doing since then? What's happened to everybody? Yeah, they've had the jib jab. They've had Britney Spears. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it's been a bad day because it's very, very hard to understand the answer. It's very hard to get the answer. It's very hard to understand what to do in circumstances when all around you is going crazy. That's why it's important to keep your circle small, healthy and happy. It would be my suggestion, and that's what I'm doing until I understand what's going on. Every time I attune to this, like this is the month, right, that things should start getting better. Okay, October is a good month. Maybe it's just my personal experience. Maybe from today it gets better, right? But as what I've seen in my world in these 2 days, I'm looking at people more and more who are becoming so disconnected that it's worrying. It's really worrying. And do you know what's the worst thing? They keep queuing up for more injections. They keep queuing up for more boosters. This is absolutely devastating. They still cannot see, and they won't until it's too late, and then it's too late. So there you go. Yeah. That's not me, that's Dominic from Sheep Farm. He calls it Britney Spears. Yeah. Or 3 dart finish. That's it. I'm just relaxing here with Lily, and I'm going to go and do some work now and maybe do a video when I get back. Maybe talk about addiction and how to recognize our issues, because addiction is only a label that is used to be able to stick you on tablets. But if we can look at what that is and how to clear it and not move on to another addiction, that's something that I'd like to talk about in great detail. I'd like to do a workshop on that, actually. Something I'd worked with over maybe 9 years of clients with addictions. And it's not just smoking, guys. It's not just eating. It's not just drinking. It's not just drugs. There's also many other addictions like sex, gambling. There's so many addictions that people can have. Spirituality, that's another addiction. Oh my God. Greed, massive addiction. So all of these things are something that need to be resolved, and finding the balance, of course, is really, really important. But in a world gone mad, finding the balance is becoming more and more challenging. That's what I've noticed. Yeah, they've been spraying like crazy these past 3 days. That I don't know if you've ever seen the sun before, but look, that's the sun there. But there's a white haze all around the sun. So the sun's not yellow anymore, it's white. It's a white haze. And that's because of the spray they're using. It's like now they've stepped up the spraying more than I've ever seen. So all around me is non-clouds. Everywhere is non-clouds, and it's all dispersed. So it's all like a white haze, and you can taste it. And you can feel it in your heart as well. So whatever they're doing, it seems like they're ramping up something, and it always seems to happen when they know that the energy of a certain month is going to be really beautiful, powerful, and it's going to strengthen people. It's almost like they've got an evil, dark set of people who interact into the cosmos, into the stars, and read the stars to know when something really powerful is going to happen to humanity. They interject, they get in there before, and then they cause their issue. And that's how it feels to me. It feels like they're always trying to stop us at the right moment. I believe that 2020 was the year of vision. I believed it was going to be the most powerful year ever. And soon as 2020 came, it was like, okay, now is the time the darkness needs to attack, because more people were awakening at that time than ever before. And they said, right, we need to stop this. Some of us saw it. Some of us realized, okay, this is an attack on the stars. This is an attack on the alignment of the stars. This is an attack on everything that is meant to be good in this world, that's meant to happen. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about the moon, and that many cultures believe that the moon wasn't of this planet, this earth, this cosmos, this system. They believe that it came in here at a certain time. When it came here to stop the actual development of the spiritual within humanity. They believed, they said, this is what was passed down over the thousands of years. When we were here, we were of a consciousness that there was no fighting, there was no arguing. Everybody could communicate via telepathy. So we could communicate like the aliens do. They communicate not by verbal, but by just thought. A thought is as loud as our voice. They said that everything was calm. They said that the seas were like ponds. There was no ripples. Because there was no wind. It was just beautiful. It was nice and peaceful. And then they said the moon came, which then stopped everybody from communicating with each other as we used to do. Now we have to verbally talk to each other. Then the winds came, and then all the seas came, and then it crashes and causes chaos and waves. And so I do believe that whether this is something that is done deliberately, so that when we come onto this planet as body suits, that we experience this harshness, because how we react is our experience, and the consequences of whatever we do must have something to do with leaving this world, leaving the spacesuit, and looking at the individual and what that individual did in that spacesuit. And once you get that, once you grasp that, which I do believe wholeheartedly, did I do my best? What did I experience? I mean, doing my best is only part of the thought process of the spirit. But how did I do it? Did I do it enough to understand the experience? Did I experience it in all shape and form? Or do I need to come back and learn that same experience but in a different way? Do I need to transform myself slightly to be able to experience it in a way that I didn't experience? So I come here, I learn suffering, okay? You learn suffering in a physical way, okay? I'm coming back because I didn't learn suffering in a mental way. So you might end up coming back being grabbed hold of and thrown into a loony bin and left there for 6 years or 10 years because they say you're nuts. Well, why did that happen? Maybe because your kundalini opened up and you started hearing voices. Okay, so it's a natural process, but you know that the world we live in is going to have the negative, the darkness, and they're going to attack you, which is obviously the government and all of the stuff in government. It's all dark. So they grab you, bring you into a mental institution and feed you with drugs, and then you go through the process of being in there and experiencing that time in there. How did I do when you left that body? Did you take your life? Did you stay in there and did you do your best? Did you create in there like many songwriters did, Talking Heads? Most of his, apparently, most people who are creative writers have been thrown into these places and done most of their amazing work in there. So I think everything is about an experience. Yesterday was an experience. How did I react to an absolute disconnected, evil subhuman being who was injected up with poison? I didn't do so bad, actually. I stood my ground and just looked at him, and that was it. Just stood my ground and looked at him. Let him scream and shout. Didn't move my eyes, just looked at him. Just stayed right where I was. Whatever he was going to do, I was ready for him. Come on, whatever you want to do, get on with it. Didn't show any weakness. And then he got back in his car and drove off. I'm no interest in bullies. They don't scare me. Bullies don't scare me at all. What's the worst that can happen? So, and this happened twice. Did I do my best? Yeah, I think I did my best. But you know, at the end of the day, we're trying to figure out what's going on, especially if we're people who are on a spiritual path. We're trying to figure out every day what it's about, what's going on. How can we help our brothers and sisters going through difficult, challenging moments? What did I experience yesterday that can help in a positive way towards, you know, a healthier and happier life? I don't know, really. You know, I don't really understand that experience of dealing with these kind of people, this kind of anger, this kind of evil disconnect. What is that about? Is that a test? What's the test about? That I should have jumped on him, or I shouldn't have jumped on him? What is that about? I don't know. These are all questions that people who are walking a spiritual path ask ourselves every single day, every moment of the day. And I was just thinking to myself, one of my observations about life is about driving. I always see driving so close to how humanity is. You know, everything that you do in a car is very similar to everything that you do in life, you know, and it's so incredible how I see the similarities, how people are in a car to how they are in general as walking around. I find it fascinating that the anger that can just erupt is a way of venting, you know, to feel better. We meditate. Well, a lot of people jump in the car and just drive. That's an alpha mode meditation as well. So everything is very relative to driving. You know, squeezing that wheel so hard and not even realizing, you know, is like going to the gym and pumping iron or punching a what's it called, a punching bag. It's really fascinating. I find driving fascinating because when you observe yourself driving and others, you realize how close they are to how they live is to how they drive, and how you're feeling when you're driving is so relevant to your life. So if you're driving like a crazy person, you definitely know that your life is crazy. So it's such a reflection on us. So when you take note on your driving and see how you're driving, if you're giving way and you're kind and you're caring, like yesterday, I would have given way, but if I was giving way to this guy, somebody behind me could have smashed into the back of me, right? Because giving way to somebody who should not be crossing two double yellow lines is a silly thing to do. So if you're going to be silly, no problem, I'll keep driving, drive past and do whatever you want to do after that. There was no reason for him to then follow me and then to get out of the car when I got out of mine and started screaming. So it's all fascinating to what's going on right now. Is the world becoming mad? I think it is. Do we or should we be aware of this and be very careful? I think so. So Mark, could it just be that I'm making this video now to help people? Because maybe if one person watches this today and they're involved in a road rage, instead of fighting, remember what Mark said, don't fight, get back in your car, drive away, don't get involved. Maybe, just maybe, that might have saved one person's life. Who knows? I like to think that's the answer, but I think it's deeper. Love you all, guys. Yeah, I don't like to fight. I never liked to fight, and when I was a kid I didn't like to fight, and every time I begged the guy not to have a fight with me, please don't fight, you won't like it because I don't stop and you're going to have to knock me out completely, or else I won't stop because something flicks, something does, and then I end up hurting them, and then I end up feeling absolutely terrible. So I beg, don't fight me, don't do it, or if you're going to fight me, just know this, I don't stop, so you're going to have to knock me out, just so you know. So I'm like my brother, I'm like Nico, my son, we've got this in us. I don't know what it is, but my brother's the because we've been beaten by our dads, that's what it is. So we're being beaten by our dad, you know, and there's some blood in us. I don't know what it is, but my brother was, you know, known everywhere, all over West Yorkshire. He's one of the toughest guys there is. He's a fist fighter. Nobody messed with my brother at all. Nobody. Yeah, and he's a big guy. I'm the opposite. I'm the lover, not the fighter, and I don't like fighting. But yeah, I'm a healer. I love healing. I love helping. I love taking care of people. I love taking care of people. Love helping people. I love people smiling. I love people feeling better. That's my energy, not fighting. But sometimes, just sometimes, when you're in a corner, when somebody corners you and they're about to hurt you, you have to defend yourself. And sometimes defending yourself is an awful thing, because you know it's going to be nasty. You can't walk away from it because they're not going to let you. And sometimes you have to be smart and you have to know how to look after yourself. So yeah, you know, in an ideal world, guys, we should be able to just love each other and hug each other. But you know what? It isn't an ideal world. There's a lot of darkness now, and there's a lot of bad people around. And we've got to be clever, sharp, and we've got to keep away and just get away. Don't get involved. Don't let your ego get in the way. Just smile, or don't smile, because that makes them even more angry. Just stand your ground, let them scream and shout. Once they're finished, they'll get in the car and drive off. Don't react. Just stand there. Don't stand up to them. Don't react to them. Just stand there. That's all you need to do. Get in the car and drive off. If they kick your car, you can always get it repaired. If they smash your window, you can always get a new window. But you can't get a new face. Okay? You can't get a new face. Just remember that, guys. It's not worth it. Okie dokie. Love you all. Got that off my chest, and my beautiful tree is healing me now. I send you love and protection. I really mean it, guys. I'm really happy. I'm really happy with everything that's happening right now. We're doing a lot of work as well. The office is doing some work. We had a little bit of a fright the other day, but we're somebody's not too well in our camp, so we're helping them feel better. And I'm just about to actually go and get some walnuts from Mark at the health shop. So he's got some organic walnuts. So one of our staff is on a protocol now to heal, and that's it. And let me tell you something, guys, it doesn't matter how healthy you are, how happy you are, you've just got to look after your body, because you just never know. So take care of yourself, look after your emotions as well, take care of yourself, release, let go, and just don't hold on to emotion. Just let it go. It's not worth it. Oh, he did that, she did that. Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. Let it go. It's all bullshit. It's all eating away at your physical to make you sick, and then you look back and wonder why. I was thinking this the other day. People are telling me all of these things, and I'm like, what would you say if you found out you got cancer now, and the doctor says, get everything in order, you've got 1 month to live? Does any of this mean, any of what you're telling me mean anything? No, it doesn't. Then think about it then. Because you don't want your doctor to turn around and say you've got 1 month to live. So let go of all of this shit. It's not worth it. Let it go. Yeah. Love you all. Have a great day, guys. Is that a big rant? Was that a rant? I think that was a rant. Hey. How's Richie Allen doing anyway, Mr. Famous? Where are you? Can I touch you, Richie? Yeah? Can I have your autograph? He's back on now, bless him. He's a superstar. He's on. He was in a movie apparently. Can I touch you? Ooh, he's famous. He's famous. He's famous. In a fire that protects you. Yeah. Yes, love to everybody, guys. Keep shining. Yeah, I hope it wasn't too much of a downer, this one. It's this tree. Blame the tree, the tree. It's the tree's fault. Yeah, thanks for your messages. Thanks for your messages. Stay strong. Be smart, guys. Be smart. Discernment, intuition. Use everything, but keep away from the ego. Tell it to shut up. Keep away from the fear. Keep away from anything that the mind tells you shouldn't do. Listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your spirit. Honestly. Yeah, you're so right. The cars should be a sacred space. It should be. But it's... Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I watched these two guys beating each other up. Literally pounding each other in. Just down here, actually. It was on a roundabout, and the guy got out, the other guy got out, screaming. There's women saying, stop, stop, in the cars. Calmate, por favor, and they're beating each other up on a roundabout. It's like, this isn't about the roundabout. This is about you, my friend. This is about you too. You're beating each other up because you hate your life. You hate everything that's going on. Whatever's inside you, whatever you're doing, whatever you've injected yourself with, is causing you this craziness, right? Everything about a driver, everything how a driver drives relates to how that person is. I've shared this with you before, guys. I used to take people out in a car and ask them to drive me somewhere deliberately before I employed them. Why? Because you can't lie when you're driving. Driving is such a beautiful thing because it shows your weaknesses and your strengths. You can't hide it. You can hide talking to somebody, but you can't hide driving. And if you just let them drive for at least 15 to 20 minutes, you will see if they're angry, if they can cope with stress, if they're going to be nice with you, if they're going to kick off with you at any time. You can tell by somebody's driving. So that's why I use that so many times when I employed people. I had this one guy who was a really clever guy when you spoke to him, smart and quite strong. He got into the car. He says, "I says, oh, I need a lift. Could you take me? It's only about 15-20 minutes away. Do you mind? My car's broken down." Cheeky, just to see. He says, "Yeah, I can do that." And by the time we got to where we got, he was effing under his mouth at drivers. He beeped his horn twice. He slammed on 3 times nearly, or 4 times. And he was just, he was crazy in the car. And I said, "Thanks for that, mate. That's brilliant. Take care of yourself." Never saw him again. But hey, I'm telling you, it's like bringing a woman to an interview. If you're interviewing somebody, right, I always bring my partner with me. Why? Because women have this intuition that can see through bullshit. Men, not so much. But women have this great intuition, right? It's protection. It's knowing whether this person's going to be good or not, or it's going to be kind. It's just, I guess it's inbuilt in us. So yeah, and that's never let me down. These are the things that we do. Okay, I'm shutting up now. Oh, I have sage in the car. I've got Tektites in the car. I've saged my car many times. I have different crystals in the car. These are the things that are great when you're driving because they really do help. Make a massive difference. Absolutely. Like wearing crystals make a massive difference. Huge. Okay guys, love you all. Take care.